Kumara Satsanga, Kumara Satsanga, Kawahrina, Kawahniriya, Kumara Satsanga, Kumara Satsanga.
Welcome to this year's 46th lecture at NAMAS University, Earth's spiritual digital university, a space and community whose mission is to help each person fulfill their true destiny under the guidance of the soul and Shambhala, to co-create the life and the future of the Earth together with all other beings in accordance with the divine plan. I am the Sanat Kumara, and I greet you, dear friends, touching everyone with the rays of love, joy, and gratitude. I am pleased to note that many students have already felt contact with their soul and have learned to receive tips and recommendations from it. Some manage to be more attentive to the signs, to feel the presence of devas and other inhabitants of the earth. We welcome every step towards a new perception of the world and ourselves. Do not be upset if you have not yet been able to hear clear and direct instructions from the soul. Do the practices and be patient. Develop your sensitivity and a new level of perception with love. I invite you to feel for what pleases your soul and what upsets it, because it's important to learn how to recognize and discern that. Although the soul has many reasons to be joyous, it is of special value for it to sincerely aspire for unity and co-creation for the common good of all. The soul enjoys the free exchange of the energies of love, joy, and gratitude between people and other kingdoms of nature. Has your soul felt happiness after receiving and transmitting gratitude? The purpose of the soul's incarnation is to acquire perfection, and this happens within the framework of the divine law, that in its essence declares that every being in the universe has the right to develop, grow, and advance along the evolutionary spiral. Yet any development on all levels is not arbitrary, since it depends on God and the overall heading towards the goal of that level of existence on which the soul is incarnated. On Earth, the soul resounds through the spiritual heart and the chakra system of a human body, which is filled with a constant movement of energies that never comes to a complete stop. Every sheath around the soul, every subtle body, and every organ of the physical body has its own tasks. However, at the end of the day, everything must work for the fulfillment of the tasks of the soul. For the entire duration of one's incarnation, the multi-dimensional body of a person becomes a temple for the soul, the altar of which is the spiritual heart. Obviously, the temple and the altar have a very complex and multi-dimensional structure connected to the whole of creation. Your sacred heart contains the whole spectrum of your spiritual potential and feelings. As I explained in the previous lecture, all the particles of the universe should contribute to the perfection and harmony of the universal symphony. Without this first cause, there would be no understanding of what should be pursued collectively and individually. And if there were no divine composer, then who would lay down the law that directs everyone to the highest goal, which is merge with the Creator himself during your personal perfection? Today, I will remind you of the main divine principle of evolution. Even though the divine hierarchy grants everyone and each particle of the universe the right to make mistakes, to stop in development, or to degrade, yet with every downfall there kicks in certain divine forces to inspire the one who got lost to return to the path of evolution. A person on Earth repeatedly lives through various experiences of both development and degradation, and thus accumulates awareness and develops important qualities for the soul. It is the nature of unity, the one purpose of creation, that guarantee constant evolution and integrity of the universe. Within the framework of this law and principle, Shambhala never indicates the best, exclusive, or most effective spiritual path or method for evolution. Such exceptional methods, religions, and ways of one's perfection have never existed and cannot exist, because this violates the divine law of evolution. Each person finds one's own path of self-realization and gains experience from the many opportunities offered to one at each stage of the life path. Man, as a particle of the universe, in one way or another, strives to find out the purpose of one's own existence. Such purpose or goals may be of different nature, great and small, long-term and short-term. As one moves along the spiral of evolution, there is an expansion from small personal goals to global ones, then to the goals of the hierarchy, and then to the goals of the absolute. The movement from one level of goals to another is referred to as the journey of the soul, which is accompanied by the accumulation of divine qualities in the power of the mind. In many libraries of the mind of our students, we see the coincidence of the concept of the Sacred Heart and the Anahata chakra. But it's true just to some extent. The ancient knowledge on that matter is supported by research made by living spiritual masters. The spiritual Sacred Heart is a capacious, multidimensional living being. It is the center of one's personal universe, which is directly, I repeat, directly connected with the heart of the One, with the great center, to which all essences of the universe are directed. In the 20th century, the spiritual master Babaji from Shahjahanpur, India, being the last incarnation of Yoga Patanjali, described the Sacred Heart not as the Anahata chakra, but as a composition of chakras and special points. This study is worth studying in detail, which we will do in future lectures, but it is important to understand how the evolution of consciousness and the soul takes place in one's life on planet Earth. Understanding the spiritual anatomy opens up the possibility for one to realize what obstructs one from hearing the voice of the soul and living under its guidance, and what stages of transformation are required in order for contact with the soul to become clear and permanent. All the secrets of the living mini-universe, which is man, haven't been revealed to anyone. Does anyone already fully know oneself, one's power, one's real nature? Nope. But if the Sacred Heart is open enough, there is a feeling, and realizations come, that one's essence is love. It is the spirit, the sound and the ray of love that connect the center of one's mini-universe with the center of the whole creator of the whole universe. The task for every earth dweller is to create a pure space in one's heart and mind big enough to accommodate the true sound, radiance, and realization of the aspects of love. It's hard to overestimate the importance of the guidance, live with your heart. For without the spiritual Sacred Heart, human life is not possible. At the same time, some people feel that their heart is wide open to life, hence it feels, knows, prompts, and leads. It loves and rejoices. It yearns and empathizes. It's alive. On the other hand, some feel their heart is closed, as if it is stone-like and insensible. Such a sensation is the result of a heavy, coarse, confused, and unbalanced state of the physical and subtle bodies of a person, and especially of one's heart. By exploring the veils of the soul, saints and yogis have already discovered that human beings are created from different levels of energy that coexist from the grossest to the most subtle. It is very important for each of you to understand the energetic state of your dense and subtle body. Today, I want to ask you to define the state of openness of your spiritual heart. In your free time, please do the following self-diagnosis. Get in a comfortable position. Chill out. Focus your attention on the area of the heart, which includes the entire chest area. In doing so, realize that you will not be exploring the physical heart, but the spiritual one. Immerse yourself into silence. Give the heart some time to respond to your attention and contact request. Recall, my dear friend, when was the last time your sacred heart sounded so insistent that you were aware of his call, advice, or even demand? Try to become aware of how your sacred heart is involved in your life. Find an image or symbol that represents your contact with your spiritual heart. Is it open to God, to the world, to people, to life, and to all that is? Maybe it's open only to some you care about. Determine the scope and scale of this openness. Maybe it covers only the close relatives or people of your country, or only nature. Maybe your heart resonates with thoughts about God and the higher worlds only, but for some reason it is closed to people and everything around you. Perhaps you feel completely alone among people, and your heart is closed, perhaps even to yourself. Don't you sometimes feel like you're sitting at the closed doors of your stone-like heart? All of these states of the spiritual, sacred heart may not coincide with yours. I offer several options to do self-diagnosis. I ask you to honestly estimate to what degree your heart is open to love, and to write in your diary. If you have a mathematical mindset, you can rate this on a scale of 0 to 10. And if you have an artistic mindset, you may come up with the image of an open flower or a closed bud. Let your heart prompt you to self-diagnosis. This is a very important task, and believe me, there is no right or wrong state. It is what it is. To improve contact with the soul, first it is necessary to determine the level of openness of the heart. It's like finding your reference point. Once you do it honestly, it will be much easier to find a suitable method for purifying and opening your heart and get in contact with your soul. Our goal is to help each of you do just that. For many epochs in a row now, man devotes most of his vital energy to the acquisition of things, property, and social status. This is the result of life being ruled by the mind, the ego, and due to slavery or dependence to desires. From the center of my heart, I want to convey the most important wisdom that will help one to realize the most important use of time and resources of one's life. The purity of the sacred heart and the ability to control one's thinking is the most valuable thing a person can possess. Only the pure spiritual heart allows one to love unconditionally, realize the path to the supreme, and feel proximity to danger and temptation, to understand and to reject false values and goals. An undeveloped heart, along with an uncontrollable mind, deprive one of being able to discern. Such a heart sees, hears, feels, and evaluates everything through the filthy filters of the mind, obstructed by humming energy centers that are low in power. The heart in such a state has no idea of wisdom, peace, love, gratitude, joy, and courage. The true guidance of the heart may sound like a whisper, but its weak voice should not be taken as an illusion or a sign of its powerlessness. For through a whisper, the Creator can call one to become a spiritual hero, break the chains of attachment, and free one from delusions. Unfortunately, the current state of consciousness of many land dwellers is such that the voices of the soul, the higher forces, and the Creator are hardly perceived because they are not able to penetrate through tough negative limiting filters or disbeliefs of one's mind. Therefore, it is important to listen to the soul, practice meditation, relaxation, etc., and stay alert so the guidance of the higher spheres through the heart does not get lost in vain without implementation to daily routine. Do you practice what we have offered? Maybe you do not trust us enough. We often witness that people, while praising the teachers of humanity for the treasures of wisdom they have handed over to them, ignore the practices and knowledge offered, like madmen who throw precious pearls into the abyss of oblivion. Many impulses from the higher worlds and sacred soul become useless as they are often perverted by the negative mind or the greedy ego. Where is the line between purity and roughness? This is a complex and multidimensional issue. Here is one hint: to discern. In short, it can be summarized as follows. Those ones who are afraid of the future by showing distrust to life and the Creator are moving in the direction of downfall and degradation. Remember this, since it is easy to recognize. Look around. Are birds afraid of the future, hence migrating long distances, following on the call of nature without luggage and a business-class airplane? Do reindeers demand any guarantee of comfort while heading up and down the northern lands? What is the main difference between a human being and any animal? It is that one is endowed with free will and choice by the Creator. Therefore, one should not be like a donkey on a rope following the lead, but rather keep in mind that he is a part of the creation, under care of the Creator that takes care of him. The Creator's plan is for a person to obey the soul's guidance so that life force will carry him towards the true goal and self-realization. There are 3 important tasks for everyone. Purify the spiritual heart by taking good care of the garden of the soul daily. 2. Learn to control thinking and desires. And 3. Develop non-attachment to anything. In the Golden Age, every thought will originate from the pure spiritual heart, and it will be spatial, spreading all over the entire universe. Such thoughts bear the energy of love, transmitted with love, and in the name of love are the guiding signs leading towards unity. The Sanat Kumara's personal portal paintings. I, the Sanat Kumara, paint personal portals to me in various sizes through Martina Violetta Jung. They are on offer both in acrylic on canvas and as watercolors. For those who feel ready for a direct bond with my highest frequencies and guidance through a portal still this year, please make sure your request reaches Martina by the 6th of December via the contact possibility on my website, thesanatkumara.com. The acrylic on canvas portals are numbered since I first started to paint them through Martina and are limited to 36 per year. Some are still available. The watercolors can be found in my ebooks, The Sanat Kumara, Affirmations, Invocations, and Insights for the Ambassadors of Light, and the Amaya Mysteries, as well as on my Instagram account, Dr. Martina Violetta Jung. If you don't have the means to buy an original, there are no prints. Enjoy them in the ebooks, on my website, and on the Instagram account. They emanate my love and light, but don't have the effects of an original portal. This was the Sanat Kumara. This message was received by Alla Ravenko in Russian, translated to English by Igor Ravenko, and recorded by Joel Cameron Pennington.
Kumara Satsanga, Kumara Satsanga, Kawa Irina, Kawa Niriya, Kumara Satsanga, Kumara Satsanga.